It's the first time I've heard about this. Trial starts for man accused of plotting to assassinate Trump. Huh. Well, I'll tell you, that's about as un-American as it gets. You see, that's what they do in other countries. We have a process for that. It's called democracy, and you vote. That's how we do it here. Okay. Um, I don't believe in the United States assassinating other heads of state in other countries, okay? Unless they've been proven to have committed war crimes like that of Vladimir Putin, okay? Drop a bomb on his place, I have no problems with that, okay? So you have to be a war criminal, absolutely positively proven. And what's happened in Ukraine, especially the first 6 months in Ukraine, he's guilty 100%. There's been a warrant issued by The Hague. And as far as I'm concerned, he's fair game. But Donald Trump, he's just a fat idiot. That's all. He's a fucking moron. Um, and the way we get rid of people like him is we vote them out of office. Now, I understand. I have some semi-right-wing people in my circle, and they're fishermen and they're hunters. The problem is they know I'm a fisherman my whole life. They know I'm a hunter my whole life. They know that I've been a gun owner my whole life, okay? And I am absolutely opposed to everything that the Republicans stand for when it comes to those rights. You don't need a 30-round fucking magazine in your AR-15 to go hunting. Period. Okay? There is a limit to where that goes as far as I'm concerned. Fishing? Well, this is what I know about fishing. So my whole life I've been a fisherman, and I've watched it degrade in every environment that I ever fished in. Fishing for a striped bass in the San Francisco Bay. I told a friend of mine in the nuclear business, we were on a nuclear job in Hartsville, South Carolina. Hartsville, South Carolina. H.B. Robinson Nuclear Power Plant. We were doing eddy current inspection on their steam generator tubes. And Pat, he had a blue eye and a yellow eye. And I told him, when we get home, which was in a few weeks, I said, it's fishing season. I'm going to take you to a place to catch fish until your arms cramp and you can't catch anymore. And of course, everybody in the room at the time thought it was fucking hilarious and funny and shit. Then the day came. I told him, all right, we're going. And I had a rod for him. And we had like 25 cast masters from 3 ounces down to a ½ ounce. And that's all you use, Castmaster with a white feather tail, red thread wrapping. And I prefer to use a single unbarbed hook because I am an avid release guy. But for Pat, I let him use a treble hook that was barbed. And I guess we started around, a tide was just coming in. And for the next 6 hours, he caught fish after fish after fish until he walked over to me and he goes, man, my arm is cramping. I can't hold the rod anymore. So yeah, I know fishing. You see, this is the problem. I can't tell anyone that anymore. I will never, ever be able to tell another person, hey, I'm going to take you fishing to a place where you can catch fish until your arms cramp. I'm never going to be able to do that again. You're lucky if you get a hit in a place where schools used to come through that looked like giant dark areas the size of football fields. And one after another would come in and go by, one after another. And if the fish weren't biting, you could simply cast over the dark mass and go and snag one anytime you wanted. That's how many fish there were. Now, you're lucky if you get a hit. Period. Whiskeytown Reservoir. Been fishing there for approximately, since, before John F. Kennedy dedicated, Whiskeytown Reservoir. You could go up there and put your feet in the water. There's little ponds on the right-hand side of the lake that get fed by conduit. And you could put your feet in the water, and on each foot you would have these little bluegill. And they would come in and nibble the skin on your feet, the dead skin. Now you can put your feet in the water and you're not going to see shit. It's dead. Dead. Why? Well, part of the reason was a lot of Hmong and Vietnamese people came and they started keeping bass this big and bluegill this big. To them, that was legitimate food. And unfortunately, what we got as fishermen complaining was, oh, well, it's cultural and we can't stop them from doing it because of this, this, and this. And they had all these fucking reasons where if I kept an abalone or I kept a striped bass or if I kept a largemouth bass that wasn't legal size, I'd have got my ass fined and possibly fucking thrown in jail. And so now you go out to Whiskeytown, there's fucking nothing there. It's dead. If you're a Republican, this is being done by Republicans. If you're a Republican, this is being done by Republicans. The party I used to be a party to 20 years ago. That whole fucking scenario of, oh, keep government out of big business. No, listen, this is what they want. They want to be able to put more poison, more hot water, more, permanent fucking chemicals, more plastic. They want to be able to put that in our streams, rivers, and lakes with no consequences because it creates jobs. No, it makes 4 people fucking billionaires and the rest of us suffer the consequences. This is why I'm as anti-Republican as fucking possible, okay? But in the end, I wouldn't use that, even as tragic as that all is, I wouldn't use assassination as a means to change that. I would like to take groups of Republicans on voyages up here in the North State, explain to them what it used to be like and what it's like now. What the last 20 years has done to the environment because Republicans want to let big business run our fucking planet into the ground. They don't give a fuck about overheating the planet. Well, they're starting to in Texas and Arizona, aren't they? People fucking falling over dead. They're starting to understand climate change. There's been a 10% increase overall in Republicans that believe climate change is caused by humans. 10%. That's significant because there was a time when you couldn't convince a single fucking Republican that climate change was real. Again, I won't say they're disenfranchised from education. The education they got was dedicated to turning them into fucking idiots who didn't have a self-explanation for anything. Everything was told to them. Their church leaders, their fucking politicians, their local elected boards. They told them what to think and what to believe. And they did it for so long that now, there are still rational thinking fucking people out there that believe climate change is a hoax put on by the Democrats to bankrupt our country. No, I've seen it with my own eyes. The terrible, horrible fucking destruction of the environments that I used to enjoy. And so I try to point this out to my Republican associates here, and they're starting to understand it because they too remember. I'm like, remember when we would go up to the lake and catch 50 bass? Take one spinner and go catch 50 bass. No, they weren't all giant bass because there was a population of little, 8 to 14 inch fucking footballs that lived there, and you could just catch them one after another. And now you go up there and you can throw a lure till your fucking arm falls off and you're lucky if you get a bite. And they understand that's a truth. You see, they can deny what I'm saying, but they cannot deny what they're experiencing and what they're seeing. Because they remember catching fish hand over fucking fist. And now they go up there and they understand they can't get a fucking bite. And they know there has to be some reason and some cause. Number 2, turning over all of our fucking infrastructure to private fucking companies that only care about profit. I've talked about the guy who wanted to give me a ticket because he didn't have the proper forms for my golden access pass. He didn't have the proper forms. And I said, what do you want me to do? You're not doing your job. This is a guy who gets to park in the premium spot that other people can't use. He stays there all summer and monitors the parking area. And I said, you're sitting there giving me a fucking hassle, and there's 2 car batteries sitting right over there against the curb, and they've been there since the last week I was here, and you haven't picked them up. That's your job. That's why you get this premium fucking parking area for you to spend your summer in at the lake. It denies anyone else from ever getting to use that spot. That's a private fucking company that somebody knows somebody in the company, and that's why they get to be the monitor. They had their shit all over. They had a permanent fucking camp there, and you can go up there right now and see it's the same thing. They've got their own bench that they've moved in there. They've basically taken over that whole fucking area as their own private little fucking kingdom. And they'll harass people up the fucking ass. But will they pick up a piece of paper or fucking car batteries that are basically laying over and leaking acid into the parking lot right next to the lake? Fuck no. No. You see, this is the truth, right? That guy, that same fucking guy, he's hardcore Republican. Hardcore. He's not an environmentalist either. He could give a fuck about the environment. He's there to have fun and to basically have a power trip. That's how all Republicans strike me nowadays. Uneducated, unlearned, unworldly, untraveled, unsophisticated. Basically They're un. I tell them, why do you need a 30-round clip in your fucking AR-15? So I can blow shit up. Just so I can blow shit up. I can shoot a bunch of bullets all at once. Well, I remember when I was a child, I liked doing that too. I went through ammo so fast that they restricted me to a single shot 22. Breech action. Yeah, it was fun when I was a kid, okay, but nowadays, things have changed. When I was young and I was a shooter, we weren't having mass fucking killings every weekend. We weren't having thousands of mass shootings every year. The way the system is set up is to make people fucking stupid. And it has succeeded in just the right areas, okay? If you can convince someone to be in a cult where, this guy named Jesus turned water to wine, he raised people from the dead, and, he did all these miracles, and yet, if you're rational and you're like, well, I want to learn more about this guy. Well, there's only one fucking book. Do you know why? Should I explain to you why there's only one book that talks about Jesus? Because he didn't exist. Because if you go back in historical records, you can see where little Johnny broke his fucking arm down the street, and that, gathering wood was getting to be difficult, and, all these historical facts all around Galilee and the whole fucking area, not a single word about this guy named Jesus Christ. Nothing in real history. Also, there's been so many Jesuses before Jesus. You see, after 1,000 years goes by, people tend to forget. And so the next cult that happens, you know what I mean? I always do the joke about the 3 guys that walk into the bar, right? Here's 3 people that I'm going to talk about. So number 1, born of a virgin, star in the east, walked on water, healed the sick, restored sight. He was crucified. He was dead for 3 days and resurrected. Guy number 2, born of a virgin, born on December 25th, star in the east, had 12 disciples, performed miracles, dead for 3 days and resurrected. Here's the next guy, born of a virgin, star in the east, performed miracles, called the Son of God, son of a carpenter. It was dead and for 3 days and resurrected. These people were all 800 years apart before Jesus. Huh. You see, the rational mind wants to go, what is going to make humanity better? And my whole job, as far as my soul is concerned, is to tell people, I saw God. There is a God. God is real. Now, it's not the God men have created. It's so far above human that it cannot be explained in human terms. It is so far removed from the ability of our feeble minds to understand that trying to explain it has taken me 15 years and I still haven't been able to do it. So there is a God. I'm not trying to destroy God. I'm trying to destroy the cults that have convinced us to believe anything we're told, like, oh, climate change isn't real. Well, let me take you to my favorite fishing spot of 30 fucking years and show you. See? There's ways to prove it to people. Bark beetles. Well, we never had bark beetle problems. Why do we have bark beetle problems now? Fucking climate change. Why do we have fires? Republicans. We have fires all over fucking Northern California because of Republicans. And how could that possibly be, you say? Well, because they've allowed private owners, Republicans, to own our forests. They came and told the Wintu, first they scalped them for money, then they chased them all out, and then they just simply claimed the fucking land for themselves. All white people. This is now our area. And what did they do? Well, they cut all the fucking trees down. They cut all the fucking trees down and sold them to China. This has been going on for 50 years up here. And so I tell people, go to Google Earth and look at the entire Sierra Nevada range up close. Don't look at a map that shows this green mountain range between Nevada and California. What I want you to do is start at Mount Shasta, zoom in and look at all the denuded fucking stripped areas. And it goes from Mount Shasta all the way to fucking Los Angeles. The only thing that isn't denuded are the national forests that have been secured for us. Republicans, they wanted it and they allowed it. They lobbied for it. And so you basically have nothing to hold the water, nothing to hold the snow, nothing to hold the moisture, okay? And so next thing you know, that's contributing to climate change. You see, right now I'm looking at Plumas National Forest. I have it, I'm not sure what the scale is here, but it looks completely green. It looks like a green band of forest until you zoom in and then you start seeing the actual reality. It's all been fucking cut down, with little spots of trees left. You drive up through the mountains, you're only seeing trees they left here and trees that they left here so that you could think you're driving through the forest, when in reality, a fucking mile and a half this way, it's fucking denuded for the next 100 square miles. Okay? This is what Republicans want. It's what they do. It's what they are. It's what they stand for. Okay? Their whole philosophy is let business convince us into giving them every fucking thing they want so they can have a bigger boat, while we allow homeless people to fucking burn up in 115 degree temperatures without any help whatsoever. It's disgusting. It's shameful. It shames me as a human being. It shames me to see how the system that was put in place by fucking people that wanted to be billionaires, and now there's no off-ramp, and those billionaires don't give a fuck. They figure they'll be just fine. I'm a billionaire. I don't care. I can leave my air conditioning on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, while people give me fucking massages and bring me sodas. tragically fucking, just tragically fucking horrifying. It really is. I just don't. Go look for yourself, okay? Go look for yourself, and you'll see that what I'm telling you is the truth. And if I'm telling you the truth about that, then I'm telling you the truth about the fish. And if I'm telling you the truth about the fish, then I'm telling you the truth about those 3 fucking guys that were Jesus Christ before Jesus Christ. We need to be educated spiritual beings, and then we'll make it. If we're not those things, if we are not educated and spiritual in the way that we wish to proceed with our future, there is no future for mankind. There isn't. This is why I tell people, don't sub to my page, because I'm going to hit you in the face with truth over and over and over and over again until you either accept it as truth or I wear you out and you never come back to my fucking page again, because what I'm telling you is scary. It's scary as hell. If I'm telling the truth, you should be fucking terrified at what I'm saying. This is why I tell people, do not sub to my page. I am not here to get subs, okay? I am here basically to scare people away from my fucking page after you watch a few videos going, damn, I don't want to go back there anymore. That is my goal, okay? So, no, assassination out, education in, okay? Voting in, assassination out, okay? If you're an international murderer, then you should be treated like one. But if you're just a fucking dumbass moron, no, you just get voted out of office.